Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great evening. So, we've probably heard the electronic community about the expansion into Brazil, partnering up with Clara that supplies about 95% of the mobile service operations throughout the nation of Brazil. Um, and throughout this process, Electroneum is down the pipeline, now allowing Brazilians to top up their minutes with their mobile devices. So, of course, this is what we want to have happen, as it is going to create that demand for Electroneum and get some of that Electroneum off the market, right? Because that's, of course, going to make it so that they'll need to purchase Electroneum. Creates the demand and the urgency for it as well. Urgency being part of these partnerships that are created through these companies, whether it be some type of bonuses or whether it just be some type of advantages to using Electroneum, such as the airdrop feature every month. And, one big complaint comes about from the airdrops that come out of Electroneum each month. And I think it's a great misunderstanding of velocity of money in that sense. The idea that we can have this ever expanding economy by moving these Electroneum dollars from person to person. You give someone few Electroneum dollars here and there, that few dollars becomes several dollars and so on and so forth, right? So what tends to happen is I think a lot of us kind of lose focus on the importance of having people boots on the ground in these nations, actually helping people to understand why they need to use cryptocurrencies and why this demand for it needs to exist, or how to get that demand so that it is a valuable project and product for us, right? Some cryptocurrencies have been able to do that quite well. I think Dash did the best job I've seen of that. And Bitcoin Cash, I think, is moving into that direction as well. And, the demand for cryptocurrency, right? To kind of really look at this and try to sit back and understand this, we're asking people to just come in, purchase these cryptocurrencies, right? And we're making this narrative, we're forming this narrative, we're telling the story about why they need to use it and why they need to buy it. But that story is falling on deaf ears oftentimes because the people just do not see the demand, for these cryptocurrencies. Now, there can come a point of time one day where this is very much the case. But when you have projects like Electroneum that go down in these nations and help people to understand that within their local economies, within the economics of their dollars, where they're dealing with some type of hyperinflation or just some inefficient banking structure that is non-existent. Helping them understand that it's not just enough to just say, hey, we'll use this and this, that, and the other, but having people there to try to put together a plan to help them see the use of it and then use it. That's something entirely different. And I really like projects like that because I think they help to solve many of the early problems that we're going to have in cryptocurrency. Many of the early problems we have in cryptocurrency is just going to be just these really archaic systems that are supposed to do something in the future, but nobody's really using them. Nobody's making Bitcoin purchases every day and a variety of things like that. But that is our narrative. And again, that narrative is about a future time where we'll actually have significant uses for these cryptocurrencies. But right now, the demand is not there. However, if you have projects that are going down into certain lands, Central America, South America, Africa, Southeast Asia, and you're going into these local villages, farming communities, towns, and you're helping these people understand how valuable this could be to them who don't have bank accounts in their local economies, and be this very, very simple, efficient, easy way to not only participate in it, but they get a kickback from it. There is a incentive to do it, right? They get the airdrops every month, a variety of things, and now it kind of becomes their dollar of choice. All those things make sense, right? Trying to tell a person that they should use Bitcoin, trying to tell people to go, pay for clothes and shoes and a variety of things, and trying to present this idea of this is some kind of digital currency, it just doesn't work well. Now, at least not up to this point. And so projects like this could have a growth rate that could far exceed the 50 million wallets that exist in projects like Bitcoin and Lite. But looking at something like the Gig Guru, I think also under those sets of circumstances solves a big issue with when you go into these economic distressed nations, if you were, and the value that's being moved amongst them. How does that value translate to us to a global market that is this viable market where value could be transferred throughout party to party across the globe? Well, when you look at ideas here like the Gig Guru, I think that's what's going to solve a lot of those issues for people who say, well, Electroneum just giving out these airdrops of free money doesn't make any sense. These type projects don't work. Anytime you're giving out free money, it makes your token less valuable. But that is a misunderstanding of an economy. Nothing's really free. But the use of your product, people using it, is where the real value starts to come from. So in something like the Gig Guru, of course, many of us understand it's something similar to Fiverr, but it's free. You can see the price difference between Fiverr and Upwork and some of these other Fiverr-like products. But Electroneum, of course, will be free, which means entices other people to come to the Electroneum system and use it. And this, of course, gives value to now all of these new Electroneum users that we're gaining, that I think some of the cryptocurrency space don't recognize their value yet, that kind of look at them as, as part of the community in a project that's not going to be one that grows. But the reality is, and the fact of the matter is, projects that operate in a set of circumstances like Electroneum going into these nations, look at something like Dash, we could have made the same. We could have come to the same conclusion about Dash going down in Venezuela. We could have made the story about these are fault-failing economies and giving these people free money, because a great deal of free money gave out to Venezuela. Great deal of free cryptocurrency gave out to Venezuela before Dash got positioned well down there and got started. So I think it's a quite the misunderstanding of how the velocity of money works. And I think if we take a little time with it, expand this out, we can see where Electroneum could end up like with this. But now, of course, the problem, as well is, something like this obviously will take a lot of time. A system like this that they're trying to put together will take a lot of time. So it's probably not going to be bearing fruit in any time soon. But we can see the structure of it. And I'm very much in support of structures and concepts like this, because I do think they get to the root of the problem. The financial real estate guru Grant Cardone, I think he's now using a social media blockchain crypto site I use called Uptrends. He's actually on there posting. Grant Cardone spoke about the biggest problem with cryptocurrency is that the problem is you can't just tell people to try cryptocurrency and they should be buying cryptocurrency. And these people don't see the use of cryptocurrency because they have their traditional bank accounts that structure well and serve them well. And they certainly don't want to deal with an inefficient cryptocurrency doing transactions and the like, when they can deal with a bank that if they lose their data, if they lose their passwords and call up their bank, they got insurance, they can have their money back in their accounts, etc. Because putting responsibility on people oftentimes isn't what people want. So, selling people on that is going to be a problem. But what Grant Cardone spoke about was, first, what you have to do is to get people really using products And it's one of the best ways, the simplest ways, is to do it through samples, right? They send out samples of products. In this case, you send out airdrops of cryptocurrencies. You let people use the ecosystem, and then when they say, "Hey, this is kind of cool. I can kind of transfer this valuable money," then it becomes something that they can see the use of in their communities and environments. But to try to just go, okay, we just built all this technology heavy stuff, and now you guys come over and just start buying up stuff. It just doesn't work that way, right? That's why we never achieve a mass adoption of cryptocurrency. We really have to rethink our direction in cryptocurrency. We really have to think about demand and who's really using it. Not just who's using it, but why do they need to use it? Because if I can just say, well, I don't need to use this, I can use something else, then we really haven't solved the problem, have we? But I think that when you're going into countries, you're going out in these places like Brazil, a lot of these people don't have bank accounts, right? And to just give them some mobile device that they can easily automatically have this bank account on, that is a really neat, fun, little cool user interface that's dropping them some of their money back each month, or dropping them back some of those cryptocurrencies every month. They can go buy something with. Maybe they could go buy bread or something with it. You know, that goes a long way. And I think it's one of the greatest ways to adopt people. And what you do is you go around to these type of economies like this, and now you got millions of these people, and the rest of the world's looking at now you with this viable economy, right? And they're saying, well, okay, well, now we can trade with these people. And how do you trade with them? You trade with them through products like the Gig Guru here, where you're able to now take their value and use the Electroneum system to transfer that value from east to west, right? From Central America to North America, whatever the case may be. And this is how we have to look at cryptocurrency. The days of we build this technology where, okay, it's securing more blockchains, and more security of blockchains. That just it's just well, as we can see, it hasn't mass adopted yet. But that's all I got to say in this video. I'd love to hear you guys' comments about this. Electroneum still, I believe, very much in the game. We'll see what happens. But until next time, guys, take care.